In his 1931 book, The Epic of America, writer and historian James Truslow Adams defines the American dream as dream of the land in which life should be better, richer, and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability or achievement. The greatest dreams are the ones we don't even anticipate. That's what keeps the American dream afloat. It's not always about the dreams that are set in the present, but it's about the ones we find in the future. Hans Kleiber saw the Wyoming landscapes teeming with life, liberty, and longing, with an opportunity for his own ability and achievement. Kleiber depicted the west of Wyoming by conveying the feeling of epic myth and sentimental nostalgia. He used his time working for the U.S. Forest Service around Sheridan to illustrate the abundance of wildlife native to Wyoming that inhabits its expansive landscape. Kleiber worked in a variety of media, including oils, pencil, and pen and ink. He is best known for his etchings. The works seen here represent three different etchings with two different etching techniques: hard ground etching or intaglio printing, or dry point is the second one. Personally, I relate to Kleiber as he is of German descent and was an immigrant to Wyoming. Much how Kleiber was attracted to the expanses of the Wyoming frontier, I am too. The wonder and mystery of the unknown beckons hearts and minds towards the hopeful tomorrow. Kleiber was primarily self-taught as an artist, and it was in the 20s that he began devoting himself to art. It appears that he first began to work in watercolor and oil, but was producing etchings and dry points as early as 1924. He traversed the mountains of Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho, and his subjects are drawn with pristine landscapes and wildlife. Kleiber's first exhibition of his etchings was mounted in 1928 at Godspeed's Bookshop in Boston. His etching Crossing the Platte was included in the 1939 New York World's Fair exhibition, American Art Today. There was an exhibition of 50 of his etchings at the National Museum in 1944, and an exhibition of his watercolors was mounted at the Grand Central Galleries in New York in 1950. Kleiber was a member of the Society of American Etchers and California Society of Printmakers. He received a silver medal in 1931 from the Printmakers Society of California for his print, Leaving the High Country. His works are in the Bradford Britton Memorial and Museum, Buffalo Bill Museum, Library of Congress, Montana Historical Society, Sheridan County Museum, Wyoming State Art Museum, and the University of Wyoming in Laramie. Kleiber's work is also in Bighorn, Wyoming, and the Buffalo Bill Historical Society in Cody, Wyoming. He published a book of poems, Songs of Wyoming, in 1963. He died in 1967. Artist of the Bighorns, author, Wyoming pioneer, and naturalist, Hans Kleiber was a man of many talents with a strong affinity for the area. His admiration for the Bighorns in the town of Dayton, Wyoming is evident in his world-famous poetry and his sketches. His historic log cabin still stands in Dayton and has preserved to appear much like as it did when he used it. Today he has an own museum with his works of art, free and open to the public in the town of Dayton. His legacy continues on as many poets and artists continue to document and enjoy the many wonders of Wyoming in their own alternative Wyoming story.